and welcome to Rhyme Time. Today we're going to read one of my favorites, Cowpoke Clyde Rides the Range, written by author Lori Mortensen and illustrated by Michael Allen Austin. Cowpoke Clyde poked at an ad. Looky dog at this here fad. It says that when my chores are done, I'm supposed to ride a bike for fun. Ride a bike? It weren't no horse. He'd have to try it out, of course. Imagine me a-riding round on two big wheels across the ground. The more Clyde thunk, the more he smiled at riding something not so wild. It wouldn't eat, it wouldn't stray, it wouldn't buck or bite or neigh. So with a wink at his old dog, Clyde bought one from the catalogue. When it came, the one he'd seen, he strode around his steel machine. Piece of cake, said Cowpoke Clyde. I think I'll take it for a ride. Clyde plopped down on the skinny seat and pushed the pedals with his feet. As he rolled, he picked up speed on his strange new-fangled steed, wibbling wobbling down the road, right straight at a horny toad, a toad that scrambled from the fray, a toad that skittered clean away. Zigging, zagging left and right, Clyde bumped and held on tight, wishing for some trusty reins to steer this thing across the plains. Then, all at once, caught unaware, Clyde blundered toward a long-eared hare, a hare that stared with bugged-out eyes, a hare that leaped in sheer surprise. Look out, cried Clyde, I'm coming through. If only he knew what to do. Brake and steer and how'd it work? Riding bikes was plumb berserk. As beads of sweat rolled down his spine, he hurtled toward a porcupine. A porcupine with spiky quills, a porcupine that gave Clyde chills. Would the beast and Clyde collide? I'm done for now, the cowpoke cried. Swerving left and swerving right, he jerked the bars with all his might, launched his bike into the air, and cleared the quills with scant to spare. He landed smack right in the dirt, rubbed his seat, wiped off his shirt, and gave the bike a nasty kick. He didn't like it, not one lick. Who cares about a tomfool ride on some old bike, cried Cowpoke Clyde. He grabbed his hat and started back, heading for his comfy shack. But as he walked, he thunk a bit. How could a cowpoke up and quit? So like it was an ornery horse, Clyde went back to his bike, of course. Legs or wheels, hooves or spokes, he'd nail this ride like all cowpokes. Clyde mounted up, set out again, dashing down a hill, and then, with one foolhardy, frenzied leap, he shot straight for some longhorned sheep. Sheep that baaed and twitched their tails, sheep with horns as hard as nails. But like a train upon a track, Clyde had no way to turn on back. Bouncing, bounding down the hill, he was doomed for sure until old dog, his howling, growling hound, raced across the wind-swept ground. Scattered sheep as Clyde shot through. Clyde skidded to a stop. Yahoo! He didn't crash, he didn't fall. In fact, he weren't half bad at all. Soon he was riding like a pro in some two-wheeled rodeo. It ain't that hard, said Cowpoke Clyde, when you take it all in stride. Now, whenever chores are done, Clyde rides his steel machine for fun. Who rides with him across the ground? Of course, his faithful furry hound. What a great book. We love Cowpoke Clyde. And just for your information, there is another book that preceded Cowpoke Clyde called Cowpoke Clyde and Dirty Dog. This was one of the first in Lori's series, the Cowpoke Clyde series. So run out today and find these books. They are such a fun read. So thank you so much for joining me today, and I'll be back in just a minute for a craft that goes with Cowpoke Clyde.